I visited the world's richest country for my 28th birthday, and here's everything I got up to. Prior to visiting Qatar, I have visited African countries like Ghana, Rwanda, Togo, Benin Republic. And so this year, for my 28th, I decided I wanted to travel outside Africa because one thing I realized is African countries, they feel and look almost the same. I mean, I haven't visited every African country. I hope to, but majority of them, it feels like we all have the same dust and sand and water. So I wanted something different. So I went to Asia. Yes, Qatar again is in Asia. Yeah, check it out. And I did this because it was one of the easiest places to travel to with my Nigerian passport. Getting a visa to Qatar was pretty easy. And I think it was visa on arrival. Like I had applied before traveling, but the visa was pretty easy. So I didn't want to think about, any place that would make me struggle and stress. Please, it's my birthday. So I wanted ease. And Qatar did that. So starting first with the airline, I traveled with Qatar Airways. And I'll be honest and tell you that I haven't visited or traveled with a lot of international flights, but Qatar Airways set a standard. Like, oh my God. I'm going to dare say that it is one of the most beautiful, comfortable, and smooth flights ever. Like, it was really good. Like, I wasn't even in first class or business class, I was in the economy, and I felt very good. Now, imagine if I was in business class. Now, I need to experience business class like ASAP because the flight was good. I'm very picky when it comes to food, but it's almost everything that I got in flights. Like, it was really good. I was so comfortable. I loved it. I could go on, and I would say A1 for Qatar Airways. Going through and fro, it was beautiful. And then I got to watch like different shows while I was on air. I saw Wicked, which I hadn't had the opportunity to see when it was released or when it was in cinema. So it's fair to say that I traveled to Qatar to go and watch Wicked because it was no longer in the cinemas. Well, that's very bougie of me. What can I say? This is the life I chose. Okay, so yeah, the flight was really beautiful. And I guess with that flight, I should have expected that the airport would also be great because it makes sense that such a beautiful flight would land in such a beautiful airport. Qatar Airport. Wow. I spent hours just going round and round the airport and it felt like it wasn't going to end. There is no luxury brand that you're looking for that you will not find in that airport. It feels almost like you can actually go to the airport, shop, and then decide that, you know what, I'm going back because I've had enough. Because it is beautiful. I'm not exaggerating, guys. I was walking up and down, I was sitting, looking, I was lost. And in that moment, I just said to myself, girl, we need to make money. We need to have money. I need to make money. It was so beautiful. I even visited Starbucks. I think it's Starbucks. Or is it Starbucks? I don't know if they're an X on it. Anyway, I visited there to try out coffee because I've seen it everywhere on social media. And I'm like, yeah, okay, let me try this out. And I would say that it was good. It was good. I'm not a fan of coffee. Like, I don't necessarily drink coffee. I would majorly or mostly just have like hot chocolate. That's my preference because I'm really a sweet tooth and I don't think that coffee is sweet. So, but I did try the cappuccino. I believe that's what it's called. And it was good. I basically asked the lady for something sweet and she gave me that. So I would say that it was good. Now, once you're out of the airport, the city, Wow, the city of Doha. I say Doha because Doha is where I stayed for 3 days, and Doha is beautiful. The architecture, the buildings, the skylines. Wow. And again, it is just so amazing to realize that this was built by visionary leaders. It was screaming wealth. It was screaming thought, well thought through. Like it was screaming, yeah, we thought this is true. It was screaming, yes, we want you to visit our city. We want you to know that we have money. And I was like, yes, sign me up. Everywhere was neat. At least most parts that I visited were really neat. I've heard a couple of people say, oh my God, Qatar is very hot. But for me, it was, I think even the driver had said, oh, you came at a good time because it is not very hot. Another thing I noticed talking about, the heat is how most of the cars in Doha are white. Like they're white colors, majorly white colors. And when I asked the driver, he had said, yeah, because of the heat, black makes more heat. But with white, it's like a bit lenient. And also, do you know the cars that come for your pickup? Like you see Benz and really fancy cars coming to pick you up. Oh God. I didn't want to come back. I'm not even going to lie. I'm like, I think being in that environment just made me realize that I want to be wealthy. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do my best, and I'm going to just be able to exist in luxury because it's just something that it does to you. You're not hustling. You're just taking your time. You're doing things at your own pace. I really could go on and on. I didn't make a lot of videos for my hotel, but I would say that the hotel was pretty comfortable. I can't remember the name right now, but I will try to get the name and insert it somewhere. It was very comfortable. It had a couple of other Nigerians there. Really good. It was comfortable. It was safe again. There was no issues. I had everything that I needed. Even when I wanted to iron my clothes, there was an ironing board in the room for me to easily iron. So that was very good. I really loved it. Away from that, what I got up to in Doha, the first thing I did was the cruise. The night I got in at about 4 p.m., I headed to the cruise, and it was a 2 hours cruise, just cruising around Doha, seeing the skyline. It was in the evening, seeing the sunset and the breeze blowing on my face and my hair, just being out there and seeing beautiful buildings and skylines and rich people's yachts, and even being in the boats with other Qatarians. I don't know if that's what they're called right now. Forgive me. But just being there with them, watching them with their families, it just felt really good. It felt really good. I even had like, I think tea as well, Arab tea, which tasted good. I think I added sugar to mine and then I added milk as well. So it was really good. I loved it as well. Hmm? I was about to say that at that point again. I thought to myself, God, I really need to have money because every time I think that's the thing with being in a city that is so arranged and so beautiful. It's like every moment is just you gasping and saying, "Ah, God, I really need to have money." Having conversations with God and saying, God, I see the beauty that you have created and I want to experience it. Like money is how you experience it. So God, please do a miracle, make a way for me. These were the things that I said. So yeah, that was the first thing I did. I definitely recommend you to do that if you also visit Doha. It is very peaceful. If you're into journaling and meditating, it's a good time for you to just sit down, converse with God, with the universe, with yourself, meditate, pray. It's a very good one. If you have friends as well, it's a good time for you guys to sit down, chat, take pictures, videos, just breathe in and breathe out. It is very beautiful. So that was the first thing I did. The next thing I did was also touring the city. Like I said, the city is really beautiful. It has a lot of architecture from the museum. The museum is very beautiful. Like the shapes. I You know what? I wonder what was going through the minds of the individuals who built this, because what were you thinking that made you, or had you thinking, oh, this is how we should build this is how we should do this, because it was really good. I was amazed. I also went to this, I can't remember what the city is called right now, but it had like different colors, so beautiful, like pink and orange. It's a little place where they have stores, they have a fish market. I also saw where at some point, I can't remember what year it is now. I think 2022 actually. 2022, Qatar held the World Cup was held in Qatar, and I got to see the stadium. I got to see the buildings, the malls. I also had the opportunity to shop at one of the malls, which is called Villaggio Mall. Yes. There's also this little place where it's almost like you're in Venice, according to the story I heard. I didn't do that, but I looked at it and I saw people doing it and it felt beautiful. And I took a short video of it just to say I was here. But majorly, when I went to the Villaggio Mall, I went to shop because I knew that, at least what I had seen online was Qatar is really good. It's a really good place for you to shop. And so I had like plans to shop for work, get myself some new outfits, just upgrade my wardrobe a little bit. So I visited Zara to be precise, and I got myself some items. I should say here that Qatar money is really strong because I had traveled with dollars and I thought to myself, oh, I'm a rich babe because I was going to Qatar with dollars and pounds. Only for me to get there and realize, wow, their money is really high. I think one dollar is about three riads. I thought it was going to be like when I visited other African countries where $1 is like, $1 is like maybe 200 naira, 1,000. But apparently, Qatar had rich money. And so my money, my dollars wasn't even, I mean, I did get a number of things, right? I got perfumes, I got clothes. I wanted to buy gold, but again, I realized that I needed more money. So I'm going to be visiting Qatar again precisely to go and get gold, because apparently that's one of the best places to get gold and I really want to buy gold, so I'm going to go back there for that. I know I'm going to visit again. I really had a good time. Another thing I did was this desert safari ride. So Doha is the city and I believe the capital of Qatar. This is where most of the structures are, but the most part of Qatar is actually a desert. Mostly sands and yeah, a desert kind of feeling. And so I had this desert ride in a jeep. I visited the beach. I was happy. It felt God. I kept going up and down and up and down. I did the camel ride with a group of people. I carried the eagle, I believe, on my shoulder, obviously on my hand. I was so scared, but I did it because I had somebody like a tour guide with me. Oh, guys, right now I'm back in Nigeria as I record this, but I must say that I loved every bit of being in Qatar and just experiencing this. It was beautiful. I also had the opportunity to go to the beach as well. On a Monday morning, I went to the beach. Ah! I was just looking at people, and it was interesting to see that it was a Monday morning, a work day where people should be at work. There was no holiday, and there were other people like me who were on the beach as well on a Monday morning, just resting and taking in the sun and being in the water. Guys, this is the life that we deserve. We really all deserve good things. I don't know who decided that we're supposed to be working hard every day, but man, I loved it. And I think the last thing I'll talk about is the food. On this trip, I don't think that I was very adventurous. I ate a lot. I think I was very safe with food. First, because I did not travel with any medication and I didn't want to fall sick. Prior to traveling, I was already feeling sick. So I had taken malaria drugs and I didn't want to again get to the country and then be sick again. So I was very safe. However, I should say that, so I had pasta, I had rice, I had tea, I had bread, eggs, just things that I'm very conversant with. However, the taste, I believe the way they cook it or the way they make it is very different from how we make things as well. So the taste was different. And I would say that when I was having their noodles and pasta, it definitely tasted different, and I dare say better than when I have it here in Nigerian restaurants. Like their rice and their soup. The soup is like a big bowl and the rice is just a small portion. And I'm like, yes, all these food dietitians would be very proud of me because I was eating a lot of veggies. Like their food had so much veggies, very proteinous, very healthy. It's no surprise that when I came back, my mom said, "Yeah, you've added weight," and it was just how many days? Imagine if I stayed there for a month or a week. Anyways, I really had a great experience. I loved visiting Qatar, Doha to be precise. I loved being in one of the world's richest country, and I definitely hope to go back again. If you're thinking of visiting, this is your sign to definitely visit. It is so beautiful, and it does something to your mind where it's like, wow, if human beings could sit down and come up with vision of having a city like this, then I can do so much with my life and with the resources that I have. I know that one's very motivational, but yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. Okay, until next time, bye.